Okay, one more point. Suppose a body travel along the circular path. A body travel along the circular path. Here, initially the body is at point A on the circumference. O is the center and R is of course radius of the circular path. One body travel along the circular path. When it is here at first, the body starts their motion from A along the circular path in anti-clockwise direction or counter-clockwise direction, like this. Okay, here whenever the body completes half of the rotation, then the body comes to the point B. No, when the body completes half of the rotation, it comes to the point B. Then what is the distance traveled by the body? What is the distance traveled by the body in this case? Anybody respond in chat box? Pi r. Okay, pi r. Because as it completes half of the rotation, distance traveled means the total length of the path covered whenever it completes half of the rotation means this length. That is equal to half of the circumference. Circumference of the circle is, we know, 2 pi r. Half of the circumference means 2 pi r by 2. That is pi r. Very good. Distance traveled is pi r. Then what is the displacement of a body? Displacement of a body means initially the body is here, finally the body reaches the point here. The shortest distance between these two means this straight line path. Now, this distance means that is equal to twice the radius. That's why the radius of the double the radius. That means diameter. Diameter of the circle is the displacement of a body. Okay. So when body travel from A to B, that is completes half of rotation. Completes half of rotation, comma, then distance travel, distance is equal to half of the circumference. No, because it completes half of rotation, that's why distance travel is equal to half of the circumference, means 2 pi r by 2, that is equal to pi r. Displacement, so displacement in this case is equal to initial point is this one, final point is this one. The shortest distance between these two is equal to diameter. That's why 2 into r. This is the displacement of a body. Suppose if the body travel along the circular path and it displaces through an angle theta from the initial position. In such case, suppose if the body travel from A to C through an angle theta, that theta will be given, of course. If the body travel from A to C through an angle theta, that means the angular displacement of the body is theta. So when body travel from A to C through an angle theta, comma, then in this case, what about the displacement of a body and what is the distance traveled by the body? Okay, distance traveled is equal to, then distance is equal to length of arc, because the body travels from A to C along this path. That's why the length of this path is the distance. So length of arc AC, that is the distance traveled. But we are given just Kepler and theta. In terms of Kepler theta, we had to find the distance traveled. Since theta is equal to, we know, arc by radius. No, theta is equal to arc by radius, isn't it? Therefore, length of the arc means arc is equal to r into theta. No, that's why this is equal to r into theta, where r is the radius and theta is angular displacement. Here theta must be in radians. Theta in radians. Suppose if you substitute r value in centimeter, you will get in centimeter. If you substitute r value in meter, you will get the answer in meters. Okay. So this is the distance traveled. In this case, what about the displacement of a body? Displacement is equal to, you see, displacement means initial point is this one, final point is this one. The shortest distance between these two means this one, this is the displacement. Okay, so displacement is equal to AC. You say this is okay. AC displacement is equal to AC. Here this length is equal to say this length is say x or yeah, okay, x, that is equal to x. So this is equal to how much? Displacement is equal to how much? Here we have to find this shortest distance between A and B. That means the length of this straight line between A and C we have to find. For that, from the center of the circle, you draw an angular bisector onto this straight line path. Then this angle becomes theta by 2, no? Because it is the angular bisector. Definitely, as it is perpendicular line, definitely here it is 90. Now, in this right angle triangle, you see this total distance is equal to x. Then this is equal to x by 2, no? X by 2. So from this right angle triangle, you take sine theta by 2 from triangle. Here this it is the point say D. From right angle triangle ODA, you take sine theta by 2 from the diagram. From right angle triangle ODA, you take sine theta by 2. Sine theta by 2 is equal to AD by OA, no? AD by OA. AD means that is x by 2. Displacement here is x by 2 by OA means r. That is equal to x by 2r. Sin theta is equal to. Therefore, we need x. Therefore, displacement comma x is equal to how we can write 2r into sin theta by 2 we can write now 2r into sin theta by 2. So this is the formula for displacement of a body. So it is the distance traveled by the body is this one. Distance traveled by the body is r theta and displacement of a body is equal to 2r sin theta by 2. Now we apply whenever the body completes half of the rotation. That means what is the angular displacement theta? Where theta is the angular displacement of the body. When the body completes half of rotation, then what is the angular displacement? Theta is equal to 180. You substitute theta is equal to here, it must be in radian, pi. So pi r, no, already we got distance travel is pi r only, no. What about the displacement in the same case? Here as theta is equal to pi, you substitute pi here instead of theta. Radians, in radians you substitute pi by 2. Pi by 2 means 90, sin 91. So 2r, no, displacement is equal to r. Already you said 2r only, no. Of course here Kepler 2r. Okay, it is Kepler. So here because we imagine Kepler, that's why you will get in Kepler. So displacement is equal to distance travel is equal to pi r, displacement is equal to 2r in this case. Suppose if the body completes 1/4 of rotation means exactly the body comes to this position. So that angular displacement is pi by 2. Angular displacement is pi by 2. Now what is the distance travel? Means you substitute theta is equal to pi by 2. Here what is the displacement means theta is equal to pi by 2 by 2. You will get displacement of your body. So it is the most general expressions for distance travel and displacement whenever the body travel along the circular path. Whenever the body completes one rotation, what is the distance travel? When the body completes one rotation, what is the distance travel? The body, listen carefully. The body completes one rotation. What is the distance traveled by a body? 2 pi r. 2 pi r. Because when the body completes one rotation means from the point A, the body starts their motion and can travel along the circular path, and again whenever it come back to the same point A, then only we can say the body completes one rotation. So whenever it completes one rotation, the distance traveled means total length of the path, that is equal to circumference only, no? That is equal to 2 pi r, no? That's why 2 pi r is the distance traveled by the body. Okay. Next, what about displacement of the body in this case? What about the very good displacement of the body in this case means initial point is this one, final point also same. The initially the body starts from this point. After completion of rotation, again it come back to the same point. That's why initial point, final point both are coincided. Whenever initial point, final point both are coincided, then there is no displacement. That's why displacement is equal to 0. Okay. Now these are the different cases. Now we have to discuss some graphs today. So here we are having syllabus based on these equations of motion and graphs in this week. Okay. Concepts are over, so we have to do the problems. Similarly, suppose they make you like this also. Suppose there is a equilateral triangle of side A. Equilateral triangle of side A. The body travels from point P to Q, Q to R. Then what is the distance traveled? The body travels from P to R through Q. That means along this path. The body travel along this path and reaches the point R. Then what is the distance traveled? To A. What about the displacement of your body? Displacement of your body is A. Very good now. So here, whenever the body travels from P to R through Q, then the total length of the path covered by the body, that means this one, no, that is the distance traveled by the body, which is A, which is A. So A plus A is the distance traveled. Displacement means initial point is this one, final point is this one. The shortest distance between these two means this one, that is A. Okay, suppose a body travel along the curved path like this and reach the point here, A to B. Then what is the distance traveled by the body means total length of the path covered by the body is the distance. What is the displacement of the body means this is the displacement of the body. The shortest distance between these two is the displacement. Okay, here suppose the total length of the path is 13 meter and the shortest distance between these 2 points is say 9 meter. Then what is the displacement of a body here? In this case, what is the displacement of a body? 9 meter. What is the distance traveled by the body? Distance traveled by the body 13 meter. Okay, very good. So in this way we can find already we in vectors we did the problem. When the circular disc is rotating like this, what is the displacement of point of contact after it completes half of the rotation? Like that we did that problem. Okay, that problem is also important in this way. Okay, next we had to discuss some graphs. After that we had to do some problems also. Today I will give assignment to you. You have to do those problems. Okay, graphs, very important. First one, suppose we are given displacement hyphen time graph. We are given displacement hyphen time graph. Okay, so whenever displacement versus time graph is given, in this case, the graph is given like this. Displacement time graph is given like this. What it represents about the velocity of your body, acceleration of your body, etc. So whenever the displacement time graph is given like this, what is the slope of the displacement time graph? Slope of displacement time graph. No, what slope of the displacement time graph gives? Velocity, very good. Because in order to find the slope of the graph, the slope is equal to display on y-axis, the physical quantity taken on y-axis by physical quantity taken on x-axis. That means s by t. S by t is the slope. That is equal to velocity, no? Because s is the displacement. Suppose if s is the distance traveled, then s by t gives the speed of the body. S by t gives speed of the body. Here it is given that s is the displacement. S is the displacement is given. So when displacement is given like this, now of course it is the time. It is time. Okay, displacement time graph is given. Then what is the slope of the displacement time graph gives velocity. What is the slope of this graph? Because if you know the slope of the graph, we can have the velocity. Okay, here slope means on the straight line. At any point, if you draw the tangent is along the horizontal line only. That's why slope of the horizontal line is 0, no? Because the straight line makes an angle 0 with the horizontal axis or x-axis. That's why slope is 0. Slope is equal to slope tan theta or m. That is equal to tan theta is equal to opposite by adjacent. Opposite means there is no vertical distance. So that's why 0 by something 0. 0 by something 0. 0 by x, that equals 0. Okay, therefore slope is 0. Hence slope is equal to, already we know velocity. That's why velocity is equal to 0. This represents the body is at rest. It represents the body is at rest. So whenever the displacement time graph is a straight line parallel to a horizontal axis, that indicates even time lapses, the position of the body does not change with respect to any reference body. With respect to reference body, the position of the body does not change. Whenever position of the body does not change, then there is no initial displacement is there, because at t is equal to 0, it is having some displacement. It is having some displacement s naught. That means at t is equal to 0, suppose it is this wall is the reference body. From the wall, one person is at a distance of 10 meter. So initial at t is equal to 0, displacement of the body is 10 meter. But even time lapses, there is no change in the displacement of that person. That's why change in displacement is 0. Whenever change in displacement is 0, velocity is equal to ds by dt, no? As ds is equal to 0, 0 by something 0. That's why velocity is 0. That's why this represents body is at rest. Therefore, body is at rest. So body is having some initial displacement, s naught. Initial displacement is s naught. Initial displacement is equal to s naught. But velocity is 0. As here velocity is equal to 0. What about the acceleration? When velocity is 0 here, definitely here the equation for this straight line is equal to, how we can write? Equation for this straight line is equal to y is equal to some constant. That means s is equal to some constant. S is equal to s naught is the straight line equation, no? Because y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to, from straight line equation, y is equal to mx plus c. Here slope is 0. That's why this term becomes 0 plus. When x is equal to 0, what about y? X means time. Here you apply to this equation, to this graph. Here y means s. S is equal to m into t plus c. It is the general formula. When t is equal to 0, when t is equal to 0, what about displacement? When t is equal to 0, s is equal to s naught. Okay, you substitute the case here. Therefore, s is equal to whatever the value of t, as m is 0, m is equal to 0, then s is equal to c. C means here when t is equal to 0, s is equal to s is equal to c. C means s naught, no? C is equal to s naught. That's why C means you write s naught. S naught is constant. That's why velocity is equal to, ds by dt. Velocity is equal to ds by dt. That is equal to d by dt of s means s naught. S naught is the constant. That is equal to 0, no? When you differentiate the constant, you will get 0, no? That's why velocity is 0. Acceleration is equal to dv by dt. As v is equal to 0, dv by dt also equal to 0. Because no time function is here in this formula. That's why acceleration is also 0. So this graph represents the body is at rest, having initial displacement, but no acceleration. Okay. Even the velocity is 0, the body may possess acceleration. Even the velocity is 0, the body may possess acceleration. We know in case of a body travel along the circular path with a constant speed. Whenever the body travel along the circular path with a constant speed, in that case, the body possesses centripetal acceleration, no? The body possesses centripetal acceleration. Okay, even though there is no change in the speed of the body. Similarly, when the body is dropped from certain height, at the instant before it is dropped, the body experiences the weight mg due to earth, no? Even though velocity is 0, the force mg acts on the body. Because of force mg, that is equal to ma, a is equal to g. So it possesses acceleration, no? That's why even velocity is 0, the body possesses acceleration. So is the body has acceleration even velocity is 0, means yes, is it possible or not, means yes, it is possible. Even though velocity of the body is 0, the body possesses acceleration. What is the example? Means when the body is dropped from certain height, at the instant whenever it is dropped, even velocity is 0, due to gravitational force acts on the body, it possesses acceleration. Okay, that's why whenever the velocity is 0, it is not, the acceleration need not be 0. Okay. Next, one more graph. Displacement time graph is like this. Displacement time graph is like this. Here exactly at this point, the displacement is f naught. Displacement time graph is like this. Then here angle made by this straight line with x-axis is theta. Now, what it represents? What it represents? Or what about the initial displacement of a body? Is the body possess initial displacement or not? Initial displacement S naught, because at t is equal to 0, displacement is S naught, no? That's why initial displacement is equal to S naught. Initial displacement of a body is equal to S naught. Okay, next. Here, what about the slope? Slope of the body gives what? Slope of the straight line gives what? Slope of the straight line. It is also displacement time graph only. So slope is equal to velocity, no? So slope is equal to V. That is equal to tan theta. That is equal to tan theta. So slope is equal to velocity. That is equal to tan theta. Here on this graph, at any point when you find the slope, at any point you find the slope, that remains same, no? Because it is a straight line. That's why, suppose if you want to find the slope at this point, you draw a tangent here. Tangent is like this. Angle made by this straight line with x-axis means this one. That is also theta only, no? That means at any point on this straight line, as the slope remains constant, then velocity is equal to constant. That indicates the body travel with a constant velocity, no? This indicates, this graph indicates the body travel with constant velocity or uniform velocity. So this is equal to the body travel with uniform velocity. So the ST graph in this case represents the body travel with a constant velocity or uniform velocity. Whenever the body travel with a constant velocity or uniform velocity, what about the acceleration of a body? What about the acceleration of a body? 0. Because therefore acceleration is equal to dv by dt. As v is equal to constant, when you differentiate constant, you will get 0, no? That's why acceleration is equal to 0. So from this graph, it is clear that the acceleration of the body is 0. Okay, next, one more graph. Here it is also displacement time graph only. Okay. The displacement time graph is like this. It is the origin. So at different points, suppose I take the point here, one more point here, another point here, A, B. Okay. In order to find the velocity, here you see this graph is up to certain distance. The graph is parallel to time axis, and after that it rises like this. That is very, very important. That is very, very important. Okay. It is parallel to time axis and then rises like this. Right. At the point O, when you draw the tangent, first from this graph, what about the velocity we have to know, and what about the initial displacement? At t is equal to 0, as the graph starts from the origin, the displacement also 0. That's why initial displacement is 0. We know. Next, we have to find the velocity. To find the velocity, at which point on the graph we have to find the velocity? At that point, we have to draw the tangent. Karthi, tiffin na kuda better babu. Okay, right. He is just he switch on the he shared the video and he's having breakfast. Okay, right. So here at the point, at the origin O, you draw a tangent to this curve. Definitely, as this curve is parallel to time axis for a certain distance, if you draw the tangent is along time axis only, at this point O. So slope of this tangent at that point gives the velocity. Similarly, at this point A, if you want to find the velocity, at this point you draw a tangent to this curve. So when you draw the tangent to this curve, the tangent is like this. The angle made by this tangent with the horizontal axis or x-axis, that is the theta 1 say. At this point B, if you want to find the velocity, at this point B, you draw a tangent to this curve. You will get the tangent like this. The angle made by this tangent with the horizontal axis, that is theta 2 say. Now, here at this point, theta is equal to 0. Now, at O, what about the velocity? Velocity is equal to, as it is a displacement time graph, velocity is equal to slope of the straight line, slope of the graph only, At O, slope of the graph gives velocity of the body at O. That is equal to, slope is tan theta. That means tan 0. So 0. Slope is 0 means velocity is 0. That indicates the body starts from rest, The body starts from rest. Okay. Next, at A, what is the velocity of the body? That is say VA. Here at O, velocity is say V0. At A, velocity is VA. What is the velocity at this point? To find the velocity at the point A, you draw a tangent to this curve. Already we drawn the tangent. The angle made by this tangent drawn at this point A with a horizontal axis theta1. Then tan theta is the slope, no? As theta1 is given. Therefore, slope is equal to displacement time graph slope is velocity. That is equal to tan theta1. Okay, that is the velocity at this point. You will be given theta value 30 degrees like that. You can have tan 30 or tan 45 like that. Okay, then we can have the velocity at the point A, no? Similarly, at B, velocity of the body VB, say VB is equal to, at B to find the velocity, at B you draw a tangent and you know the angle made by this tangent with the horizontal, that is theta2. Tangent of this angle is the velocity at this point, we know. So therefore, tan theta2 is the velocity. Already I said, slope is equal to displacement by time. That means velocity. Slope can be represented with tan theta also, no? That's why tan theta2 is the velocity at this point. Okay, now from the diagram you say, is tan theta1 is more or theta2 is more? From the diagram you say, is theta1 is more or theta2 is more? Theta2 is more. Very clear from the diagram. Here, whenever we are moving like this, the slope gradually increases. That's why theta2 greater than theta1. So theta2 greater than theta1. When theta2 greater than theta1, then velocity at A is more or velocity at B is more? Is velocity at A is more or at B is more? In which case velocity is more? As slope is more here, VB is greater than VA. Therefore, VB greater than VA. At A, at origin velocity is 0. When you come to the point A, the velocity is there something. When you come to B, velocity further increases. That means when the body moving along this curved path in this direction, what about the velocity of the body? Is it increase or decrease? When we move along the path OAB, is the velocity increase or decrease? When we move from point O to point O along the path OAB in this direction, is the velocity increase or decrease? Here velocity is 0, here some velocity is there, here velocity is greater than velocity at this one. That means when you move in this direction, velocity increase, no? Whenever velocity increases, is the body possess positive acceleration or negative acceleration? Whenever the velocity of the body goes on increase, is the body possess positive acceleration or negative acceleration? Acceleration is positive, very good. So therefore, this indicates as VB greater than VA, as VB greater than VA, the body accelerates. The body accelerates. That means positive acceleration. The acceleration is positive. Okay. So in this way, from the diagram, we can say, is the body is in acceleration or is it at rest or is it moving with constant velocity, etc. We can find. Okay. Next, I think you could understand about this in these various examples. Okay. Shall I go to next point, next note point, next graph? Okay. One more graph. Velocity time graph is given. Here, velocity time graph is a straight line like this. Exactly at t is equal to 0, here velocity is u. Exactly at t is equal to 0, velocity is u. Now, from this graph, how we can say, what inference we can draw from the graph? You see, at t is equal to 0, body is having some velocity, no? That means it is having some initial velocity, no? At t is equal to 0. At t is equal to 0, initial velocity of the body. Initial velocity is equal to, already symbol is also given as u only. We know. Next, slope of the velocity time graph gives what? Slope of the velocity time graph gives what? Slope of the velocity time graph, acceleration. Very good. So here, slope of vt graph is equal to acceleration, which is equal to v by t we can write, or delta v by delta t we can write. Okay. that is equal slope means tan theta, no? Here angle made by this graph, as this graph is a straight line, at any point the angle made is same, that is say theta, then tan theta. Tan theta is the slope. Here angle made by this straight line is same at every point with the horizontal. That's why tan theta is same at any point in the graph. That's why acceleration is same. So this indicates the body travel with uniform acceleration, no? The body travel with uniform acceleration or constant acceleration. That's why acceleration is constant here. The acceleration is constant. Okay. Therefore, this is equal to constant. This is equal to constant. So acceleration is constant. Okay. Is acceleration positive or negative? Is acceleration positive or negative? As long as time lapses, the velocity goes on increase. That's why acceleration is positive only, no? Acceleration is constant. Moreover, it is positive. So this we can draw. Okay. Next, what about the area under the graph? Area under the graph. Area under graph. Area under the graph gives what? Area under the graph means area under velocity time graph means V into T only, no? Area under velocity time graph means V into T. So to find the area, we have to multiply the physical quantity taken on y-axis and physical quantity taken along x-axis. That means V into T. Whatever V into that product gives, that is the area under the graph. Okay, that's why area under the graph is equal to area under graph is equal to V into T. That is gives displacement because it is the velocity. As it is the velocity, it gives displacement. If it is speed, that gives distance. So displacement. So displacement is equal to area under the graph means area of the shaded part. Here area under the graph means area between this graph and the time axis. That is the area under the graph. So area under the graph is the area of the shaded part. Area of shaded part. Okay, that gives displacement S. So displacement S is equal to area under the shaded part means suppose this time is say equal to T naught. This velocity U, of course. This velocity here after T naught time, the velocity of the body becomes say V. Now what is the area under the graph? It is just like trapezium, no? It is the trapezium. So area of trapezium. Area of trapezium. So therefore displacement S is equal to area of the trapezium means tell me what is the area of the trapezium here? These are the two parallel sides. Okay, so half into sum of the lengths of the two parallel sides. This side is having length U because it is 0, it is U. That's why U minus 0, that means U plus the length of this side. That is means here this side means it is at 0, it is at V. That's why V minus 0 means V. So length of this side is equal to V. So U plus V into length sum of the half into sum of the length of two parallel sides into perpendicular distance between two parallel sides. That means equal to T naught, no? Because this length is equal to T naught, no? Perpendicular distance between two parallel sides means this is the distance, perpendicular distance between two parallel sides. That's why that is equal to T naught. Okay, therefore V here this is equal to V plus U into T naught by 2. It is the average total displacement of a body. Total displacement of a body. Next, suppose we are given one more graph. VT graph is like this. That means at first the body travel along positive direction. Suppose along vertical direction you take. The body travel whenever you throw the body vertically upwards, then the velocity of the body is in upward direction. That means positive y direction. Okay, after reaching highest point, velocity becomes 0. As the velocity is positive in upward direction, we have taken positive value. But after it reaches the highest point, from that point it comes down, no? So velocity is along negative direction, no? That's why after reaching the highest point, velocity becomes 0. Then it reverses the direction of motion and traveling downwards direction. That means this graph represents the body projected vertically upwards. Sorry, whatever it may be, is it projected vertically upwards or downwards? It doesn't matter to us. Here, from this point to this point, the body is having velocity in positive direction. from this point in this direction, the body is having velocity in opposite direction or negative direction. So here velocity is in positive direction, velocity in positive direction, here velocity in negative direction. Okay, here, okay, now what is the slope of this straight line? What is the slope of this straight line? Up to the point A. Here this is a this is a B, this is C say. Up to point, up to the, from A to B, what is the slope of this straight line? From A to B. Here the graph is in this direction because time is in this direction, so graph is in this direction. From A to B, what is the slope of the graph? Slope of the graph is negative, no? Because angle made by the straight line with the positive x-axis greater than 90. That means negative, no? Slope of the graph negative means, what is the slope of VT graph? What is the slope of VT graph? Slope of VT graph is acceleration. That's why acceleration is negative. So here acceleration A is equal to minus negative. Acceleration A is equal to negative. Okay. From B to C, what about the acceleration? From B to C. From B to C also acceleration is in downwards direction only. Here direction of acceleration they asked it. Here acceleration is along negative direction. Here also acceleration is along negative direction only. Direction here from the graph it gives acceleration is along negative direction or positive direction. That's all. Okay, so here also acceleration is along negative direction only because slope is from positive x-axis. Slope is in clockwise direction. That's why here also slope is negative. That means acceleration is along negative direction. Now, what is the displacement of the graph in this case? Okay, in this case, is acceleration is constant or not? As velocity time graph is a straight line, whether the acceleration is negative or positive, but slope of the straight line is constant everywhere, no? That's why acceleration is constant. Acceleration is acceleration is negative and constant. Acceleration is negative and constant. Okay, next, what is the area under the graph? Area under the graph gives what? Area under the graph. What is the displacement of the body in this case? You tell me. Here, the area bounded by this graph with x-axis this one, that is say A1. Area bounded by this graph is say A2. Okay, now what is the displacement of the total displacement of the body? Displacement S is equal to, what is the total displacement of the body in this case? Area under the velocity time graph gives displacement, no? Okay, very good. Here, Tushar, A1 minus A2, he wrote very good, because here as this graph is along positive velocity axis, here the area bounded by this curve with the x-axis is positive. That's why A1 is positive. Here as the straight line, this graph is in negative y direction, this area must be taken negative. So you add them. Addition means A1 minus A2. That means negative area must be subtracted from positive area. Then whatever the whatever this area, net area, that is the displacement of the body. Suppose if they ask the distance traveled by the body, distance is equal to, formula is same, distance is equal to distance. If they ask the distance, total length of the path covered is the distance. Whether is the body moved along the positive x direction or positive y direction or negative x direction, negative y direction, it doesn't matter. So total length of the path. That's why you have area under the velocity time graph. Area under the velocity time graph gives displacement, no? It is along negative direction, it is along positive direction. While measuring the distance traveled, we have to add these two. Whether it is negative direction or positive direction, we should not consider. So distance traveled is equal to A1 plus A2. So to find the distance traveled, we have to add the total area here and here. To find the displacement, this area is positive, this area must be taken negative, and we have to add them. So A1 minus A2. In this way, we can find the displacement and the distance traveled. Okay. So we will do some problems now. Tomorrow some more graphs will be discussed, and we do some more problems tomorrow also. So let us discuss some problems. Today I will send the assignment, so I have to do the problems. Okay. First you see the problems. Okay. Okay, some problems we'll discuss. I think problems are not saved. 1 minute. Okay, I will discuss the problem directly. I will send the problems to you. I will send the assignment to you so you see them, because they are not posted in the computer laptop. Okay, I will do directly. I will read the problem and you listen carefully. Right. Okay. Here in our material we are having excellent material. In this material, most of the problems from different H.C. Verma, some problems from Arihant, some problems from other reputed organizations from H.C. Verma, different problems are covered. Different problems are covered in our material. This material is divided into two types, two parts: lecture sheet and practice sheet. In lecture sheet problems, most of the problems we will say in the class. In practice sheet problems, we have to do because they are for homework only. Okay, of course, even in practice sheet also some difficult problems are there. Definitely, we will explain. Okay, okay, definitely I will explain advanced paper. 99% today I will explain the advanced paper. I will take 4 to 5 from 4 to R.D. Sharma, I think for maths now. Karthik. Okay, in our physics we are having mainly H.C. Verma. Okay, next different others, Arihant, our material are there. Most of the problems in our material are gathered from Arihant, H.C. Verma, etc. Arihant, H.C. Verma, Singhese, etc. Okay, Singhese, that is having good collection of problems. Okay, of course, Galaxy, etc. Because okay, that's why we are having a good material with us. So in this in lecture sheet problem, most of the problems we will explain on the board. We'll explain most of the problems on the board in lecture sheet. In practice sheet, you have to do. Suppose if easy problems are there, even in lecture sheet also, we will give you for homework. Okay. Now, first of all, we will start with a simple problem. Lecture sheet. We'll start with simple problem in lecture sheet. Level 1. Here in our material, level 1 means they are somewhat easy problems. Level 1 means they are some easy problems. Okay, level 2 means somewhat difficult and they are for advanced problems. So in level 1, we'll discuss some problems here. Here in level 1, page number 78. Page number 78, level 1. In exercise 1, in level 1, problem number 1. A boy, listen carefully. A boy walks to his school at a distance of 6 km with constant speed 2.5 km per hour and walks back with a constant speed of 4 km per hour. His average speed for round trip expressed in km per hour. Here, a boy walks to his school at a distance of 6 km from with a constant speed. Okay, suppose it is the house. It is house. Okay, so here boy walks through a distance s is equal to 6 km in forward direction. Of course, whatever the path may be curved path or straight line path, whatever it may be. Here the boy travel a distance 6 km with a constant speed. V1 is equal to 2.5 km per hour speed and reached the school. And after he reached the school, after classes are over, again he walks back with the constant speed 4 km. He walks back to the home with a speed V2 is equal to 4 km per hour. Then what is the average speed for this round trip? Average speed for this round trip is how much? So average speed, V average is equal to, what is the general formula? There are two parts are there in the motion. Here the person has traveled from A to B, then B to A. Okay, then total distance traveled from A to B is AB plus B to A means BA. It is the total distance traveled by total time. Time taken by the person to travel from A to B is TA, B to A, A to B is TAB, B to A is TBA. Okay, total time means TAB plus TBA. This is the general formula I wrote. Now we substitute AB plus BA. Here it is the distance, average speed they asked. That's why here we have to add the distances only. If they ask the average velocity, then we have to write the displacement. This displacement is in positive direction, this displacement is in negative direction. That's why plus 6 minus 6, that becomes 0. That's why average velocity is 0. Average velocity is 0. But here they asked the average speed. That's why total distance traveled by total time. Answer is given in kilometer per hour only. That's why we must substitute the distances in kilometer, velocities in kilometer per hour only. Time also in hours. Okay. First AB means 6 km plus BA means again 6 km by TAB. Time is not given. Time taken by this man to travel from A to B with a speed 2.5 km per hour. Distance by speed gives time, no? That's why 6 km by 2.5 km per hour. Plus TBA means in this path, TBA is equal to, distance is same 6 by speed 4 km per hour. Therefore, this is equal to, if you simplify them, then you will get 40 by 13. After simplification, you will get 40 by 13. You do the calculation. So average speed. So average speed they asked. Average speed. Average speed is equal to 40 by 13. What is the unit? As we have substituted totally in kilometer per hour and kilometer, average speed also you will get in kilometer per hour only, kmph. So this is the average speed of the boy. What is the average velocity? They may ask. Average velocity if they ask. Average velocity is equal to V average is equal to total displacement is 0, S by T. Total displacement is 0 by whatever the total time, that is equal to 0. It is the average velocity. Okay, note down. Here, just you put like this, lecture sheet exercise 1, level 1, problem number 1. You note this one because I will send the notes, these questions to you, so that you can see the questions. Okay. Okay, you take screenshot. Very good. You take screenshot. You take the screenshot. Next. Second one. A particle moving with a constant acceleration describes in the last second of its motion 9 by 25 of the whole distance. Here, second problem. Second problem. Here a particle moving with constant acceleration. So constant acceleration is A. Constant acceleration A describes in the last second of its motion. Suppose here from this point to from A to B, the person travels. Okay, time taken by that person to travel from A to B with constant acceleration is T. That means total time is equal to T seconds. Last second of its motion means Suppose in the last second of his motion, he traveled this much distance. Say last second means n is equal to t, because total time taken is say 10 seconds. Last second means 10th second, no? That's why last second n is equal to 10th second. That means tth second. Okay, in this last second, the distance traveled by the man is equal to. Okay, I will take new pen. Here, in the last second, the distance traveled is equal to, it is given as in the last second, the distance traveled is say Sn. In total time t, the distance traveled is equal to say S. Then according to the problem, it is given that a particle moving with constant acceleration describes in the last second of its motion 9/25 of the whole distance. That means in the last second, the distance traveled Sn is equal to 9/25 of the whole distance. Whole distance traveled in the given time is this one, that is equal to S. In the last second, he traveled a distance equal to 9/25 of the whole distance. So 9/25 into S. 9/25 into S. Okay. This is given. Now we substitute the formulas. So what about Sn? Here, if it starts from rest, that means initial velocity is 0 given. If it starts from rest, means initial velocity is 0. Okay. Here, in this case, Sn means what is the formula? U plus A into n minus half, no? U plus A into n minus half is equal to 9/25 into S means ut plus half at square, because S is the distance traveled by the body in t seconds. So half at square. Here, U is 0. That's why when you put 0, U is equal to 0. Okay, then it is also 0. Then you will get A into n minus half is equal to, as it is 0, 9/25 into half at square. Here A cancel again. N means T only, no? Therefore, T minus half is equal to 9/50 into T square. Do cross multiplication. Okay, then when you do cross multiplication, 9T square is equal to 50 into T minus 1/2 into 50 means 25. Therefore, 9T square minus 50T plus 25 is equal to 0. I brought 50T minus 25 to left and made equal to 0. Now we are having a quadratic. We are having a quadratic equation. So we cannot have the direct roots. That's why T is equal to, you write minus B plus or minus B square minus root B square minus 4AC by 2A formula. Okay, when you apply them, minus B minus half, minus B minus half, B means minus 50 plus or minus square root of B square means minus 50 whole square or 50 square minus 4 into A means 9 into C means 25 plus 25 whole by 2 into A, that means 2 into 9. So when you simplify them, then you will get T is equal to 5 seconds, you will get directly because we will get plus some here. Okay, minus plus 50 plus or minus 40 you will get by 18. You will get like this. Okay, if you take minus, then 10/18. 10/18 you will get. 10/18 means that is less than 1 second only, no? 10/18 means less than 1 second only.